Hey everyone, Owen Tester here with Royal LePage Northern Life Realty. Today we're going out for a hike to talk about the February 2023 market stats for North Bay. Let's go. Okay, so a lot has changed since our last video in January. We saw our average price point increase from $409,896 to $420,127, which is amazing. I want to add also, there was a correction to last month's average price point after I posted the video. I initially said it was $395,192. It actually was $409,896. I just found out quickly after posting. Typically, we see prices come up like this because of a lack of supply and an increase in demand, but that kind of segues into our next point, which is new listings. So we had 72 new listings in February compared to January's stat of 47 new listings, which is huge for February. It looks like things are heating up much sooner than expected for the Bay, and I find it kind of interesting that our average sales price now is only about $50,000 approximately off of our highest February sales price of $470,928 during the peak of our market last year. There's been a lot of buzz in the media about how this is going to be a really tough year for real estate and that things are kind of on a downward trend right now, but it's just kind of interesting to see that it's really not that far off and we're still holding strong going into this year. So, food for thought. All right, so we've reached our first point of interest here, the tower. This is kind of a cool spot. This is a little pit stop whenever I'm mountain biking. I just climbed up the downhill. Never recommended, because you're supposed to go down, you're not supposed to go up, it hurts. We're gonna get to a cool section of trail here. We'll be walking it backwards. It's a North Shore section, so basically what that means is that there's really small, skinny pieces of wood that are going over all these big mud bogs, and you basically just hope that you don't fall into it, because that would suck. So let's check that out. Our next point is our number of sales, which has more than doubled in over a month. In January, we saw 25 sales throughout the month, and February saw it climb all the way to 64 sales. This is big news for what we usually call the slow months of real estate. Our average days on market also climbed up from 9 in January to 16 in February. This means things are taking a little bit longer to sell, but more listings and more sales with a rising price point, as we mentioned before, it means that we're in a healthy position right now for both buyers and sellers. The growing inventory and longer days on market means there will be more leverage for buyers when you're submitting an offer, and a higher average price point means typically there's a greater return on the sale for the sellers. That's what we like to call a win-win in the business. All right, we've reached our second point of interest here. So this is along a trail called Horsing Around. If you use Trailforks or Strava, this is where the fun really picks up back here. But you've basically got a huge shark fin jump here, and it's all filled in because of the snow, but there's actually a little drop here. And you ascend all the way through all these trees, then you hit a wicked berm at the end. It's kind of one of the most lively sections back here, more for like doing some flowy laps and whatnot. But still a great time. All right, we're at our last point of interest here on the hike. This is the final downhill and descent of the trails. And I'll see if I can find a clip here of me ascending this last summer, because this is a pretty awesome section. It's kind of the only section where you can really pick up some serious speed. It's also the section that I walked up to do the trails today, so it's nice to be going back down this time. Well, that concludes our hike for today. Thanks for watching. Give the page a like and a subscribe, and we'll see you next time.